Hey, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, man. I hope everyone is doing well, man. I hope you guys are staying safe. Hope you guys had a great Tuesday. I know I did. I was off of work, but not really off of work. But man, it's go time, man. Tonight, going live with Bowtie. I have my boy Big Z Zarcoff from Thousand Oaks coming to join the show. He's another lefty. You guys, I know I keep saying they get on my nerves, but they keep popping up somehow, some way. So. Man, I'm gonna bring my boy to the screen, Mr. Zarcoff. Big Z, what's up, brother?
Living the dream. How you doing?
Man, I'm making it, bro. I'm here, surviving this pandemic. That's about it.
Yeah, same over here on this side.
Yeah, enjoying this weather, but I can't go nowhere.
Yeah, that's why I'm sitting outside.
Hey, you got the best view. You got the best view, man. Like I said, guys. My boy Zarcoff from Thousand Oaks. Shoot y'all questions, hit that share button, do what we need to do. Let's make this big for my boy. Z, tell us a little bit about yourself, man, before we get into these questions, brother.
Born and raised here in SoCal. Grew up in Ventura. Lived in Ventura. Went to college out in Florida, so I was living here. Grew up so about 96. So from 96 to 2000, was over on the East Coast for a few years. Came back after 2000 and been either living in Ventura, Northridge, or Thousand Oaks ever since. Married for the last 15 years and just enjoying the working life and bowling life.
All right. Sounds good, brother. What do you do for a living?
I am a CAD analyst at a biotech company. So right now I do drawing and documentations for a building majority of my time in Boston, Massachusetts. So even though I'm here in Thousand Oaks, most of my time is spent working on stuff over there on the other side of the country. Get to go over there every once in a while and work from that campus, but for the most part, work out here in Thousand Oaks.
Okay. With this pandemic going on, how has this affected you and your job?
For me, it's been the same, just working from home. My wife, she's also working from home, so she's got the dining room occupied with all of her work stuff and her computer, and I got the office occupied with my work stuff and computer. So it's kind of nice, every few minutes you can walk outside and say hello and go back and do your own thing. If someone's on a meeting, we just close the door. But for us, it's been status quo work-wise. It's actually been nice catching up on stuff while the site's been closed, so no new work can come in.
Okay. You say you've been married for 15 years. Have any kids?
No kids. It wasn't in the cards for us, so just got a husky dog, which you probably will walk in the screen here and there.
I'm a dog lover. I love him.
Yeah, if you probably seen him, he comes with me everywhere, and if we a lot of sometimes tournaments, he'll come in and watch me bowl.
Oh, so that was the dog out in
at Valley Bowl. Yep.
Ah, I do remember that dog.
Yeah, he's a person. He's not really a dog.
Yeah, I consider mine people as well. So trust me, that's that dog life.
Yeah.
Okay. What are some of your? We got a question here for you. What are some of your aspirations outside of bowling?
Work, I guess. I don't really have too many aspirations. Just maybe business. Looking to always maybe start up a business here or there. Always looking for some new challenges. Looking for personal growth always in whatever I do. Always looking to learn from experiences and be better with them.
There you go. Growing up, what was your main focus as a kid? And did you get derailed by anything? As far as when you're growing up, what was it like? Oh, I want to be this.
Oh, gosh. There's so many things I wanted to be. I always wanted to be like a business owner. So that kind of got derailed. I hadn't become a business owner yet. But, even growing up, my mom was a business owner. And I always was with her. And I saw what it was like to kind of do that. So I always thought that would have been like a fun occupation in life. I thought for a while maybe I'd want to be a teacher, but after I was a teacher aide for a while, I realized I don't have the teaching tool as well for kids. I can show you what 2 + 2 is, but I can't actually teach you what 2 + 2 is. So I kind of thought about also doing something in sports, but after I went to journalism school, I really didn't quite like that. So, really never, thought about being a bowler at one time, but I had health issues that kind of got in the way with that. So I wasn't able to quite get into that. So, I'm happy. Life's good. Happy with where I'm at now.
Okay. What is your ultimate goal in the bowling world?
Be good. Be someone that when they see you, like, oh, that's one of the better guys in the area. That was always something I always wanted to be when I was younger, and also wouldn't mind teaching and like creating like a Kegel type center here in the West Coast. There's good training centers in Texas. There's a training center in Michigan. There's a training center in Florida. We don't really have a training center here on the West Coast, and it shows you on the PBA tour we have no West Coast representation. Nope. I mean, we got Jacob in Arizona, but I mean, SoCal and Northern California, we got no bowlers anymore, and it kind of makes me sad that we don't have guys. We have good bowlers here in LA. We've had a history of great bowling here in LA, and the ultimate is being out on tour, and I'd love to see some of our guys get to the point where they can go out on tour and represent SoCal and West Coast.
And it's funny you say that, because if you look at like Farrell, born and raised here in Southern Cal from Gardena, and look where he is in Oklahoma, I think now. No,
yeah. I mean, that guy would have been out on tour when he was younger. The guy was unreal. So many guys were unreal as kids. I remember watching them when they were coming up, and I'm like, oh, this could be the next guy, and then all of a sudden, nothing.
Absolutely. And so that's a great point there, though, that you just made with a Kegel or some kind of type of training center here in the West Coast. And I believe if we do get something like that, there will be way more West Coast representation going on tour than what you see now.
Yeah. And I mean, I grew up bowling Jat as a kid, and Jat went through its downside, but it's getting bigger and better than ever. And I was at one in November. There's some kids that can throw the ball, and, if they can get the right direction, I think they can go out there and do something.
Yeah, I agree with you. Besides bowling, what other sports caught your eye growing up?
Watching or playing?
Playing.
As big as I am, it's probably weird, but I was a swimmer and a water polo player. So,
no way.
Yeah, I was like a long distance swimmer in high school. And that's I love long distance swimming, and I love playing water polo. That was kind of the two sports I played in high school. And growing up, my parents put me in everything. I feel like these kids who specialize like only in basketball or only in soccer are really missing out. You got to play every sport. It really helps you with everything. Like if you play soccer, your footwork in bowling is going to get better. You play basketball, your hand-eye coordination. You play baseball. Everything works together, especially for younger kids. So, I'm one of those guys. Like if you play one sport, you should play every sport. You never know what you're going to fall in love with. And I'm bowling forever, but I mean, I love watching every sport. So I love Formula One, I love NFL, I love basketball, and I watch enough to if I can get in a conversation with anybody about it, I know enough to kind of hold my own.
Okay, so you mentioned that you played water polo and long distance swimming. When did you start bowling?
When I was 2. Actually, first time I ever went bowling, I was a little bit after 1. My grandfather was a head mechanic at Wagon Wheel Bowl in Oxnard, so they had a Christmas party there, and all I wanted to do was just go run out there on the bowling lane a little bit after 1 year old, and I was hooked. I got pictures of me at 2 years old, my first bowling ball, my AMF strike line, and I was hooked from the beginning.
Wow.
That was my summer camps, was hanging out in the back of the Wagon Wheel Bowl, jumping up on the machines, crawling all over the machines, which I imagine at 8 years old, they're probably not letting kids do that today.
Is Wagon Wheel Bowl still there?
No, it's been demolished. It was demolished, I think, in May of 2015.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
crazy.
They got another Bolero that's building across the street that should be open pretty soon, but I think it's just going to be a party center.
Okay. Growing up, what kind of challenges did you face? Were you a healthy kid? Did you have any issues, complications growing up?
No, I was pretty really healthy until about 20. And then I had some health issues after then. But growing up, no, I was pretty good. Other than a broken nose when I was younger, I liked to ride my bike into cars. I got hit by a few cars, a few of them parked. Just
You got hit or you ran into the car?
I into a couple and I got hit by a couple.
Wow. Okay, so you
attention and you drive into the back of a car. I did that twice.
I was playing flag football. Well, I say flag, but tag football in the street. Turned around like this, looked for the pass, and next thing I know, my whole body was just into the back of somebody's trunk. So, yeah, I know.
It's part of being a kid.
Oh, absolutely. But growing, so you said about 20, you had health issues. So what at 20 what did you have to deal with?
I had cancer. I was 20, and then I had it again at 21, and then I had it again a few years ago as well.
So right now, are you initial?
Yes, yeah, I'm cancer free now.
That's good.
Yeah, I do chemo a couple times when I was younger, but like no chemo the last time, which was good.
Wow.
But yeah.
Okay. Well, with that being said, has your health ever sidelined you from going to tournaments?
Oh yeah, there've been a few years where I actually ripped up my wrist when I was a kid too. I used to really kind of turn more on the ball. So during one of the times that I tore a tendon in my wrist, so I had to take, a couple years off here and there. Like I took the 96 and 97, 98 year kind of sporadically time off a lot. And then the 2016, 2017, I just had to kind of just take a stop.
Wow. All right. What's the difference between the bowling scene in Northern Cal and Southern Cal?
Northern Cal is a million times better. SoCal, we don't really get the participation that Northern California gets. Northern California, they get more bowlers. They don't put out these like crapshoot patterns. They let them strike. There's more money. More people are there. I mean, it's just a better bowling scene.
So, with that being said, do you feel if we put out more house shots or decent shots for people to strike, we'll get a better attendance?
Oh yeah, like 2 times more. I mean, there's some tournaments do really well. Like Andre's tournament does really well with the patterns they're putting on, and he's got a good crowd. But if we put out some more favorable shots, we could guarantee, more money and actually get back how bowling was when I first turned adult in '93. I mean, '93 we had tournaments, 8-gamers, guaranteeing $2,000 every week. And if you bowled like at Regal, you bowled 4 out of 6 of them, and you won $4,000. And brackets that ran not just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They started on 1, and another set started on game 2. Another one started game 3, and there was just, and that was just on house shots every single week. Doesn't have to be fine china, but it doesn't also have to be where you're banging your head in the wall for $200. I mean, I'm not into that.
Hey, I agree. So with that being said, I need to hook up with you, and maybe I can get back to throwing a couple of scratch tournaments here and there for us here in Southern Cal.
Yeah, you still owe me a free entry from the last one too.
I do, and it's still there. So I got you. I got you. But no, seriously, dude, because I believe we have so many scratch bowlers here in Southern Cal, but they don't come out because of the patterns or people robbing them or just the negativity around it. When we go out, like you said, people want to strike, and if you're not striking, dude, it's like, how much fun is that?
And I like to at least make 10 times my money. If I'm going to spend $50, I want to win 500. If I'm going to spend $100, I like to win 1,000. That's just kind of the way I see it. I'm not going to win every time. So when I do win, I want it to be worth my time. So when I do go bowl a tournament and I have a bad day, I didn't go, oh, wow, last time I won 200, I bowled great. And this time now I lost 200. Well, last time I won 1,200. Well, now I lost 200. It evens it out. Like I bowl Marcus's tournaments, the Beast tournament, and it's a handicap tournament, but it's 10 times my money if I win. The patterns aren't stupid easy, but they're not hard, and it's more fun. The value is there, and to me it's like if you're playing poker, is the pot worth the putting your money into it? And
right.
That's what gets me wanting to bowl a lot of times. The money's worth it.
Okay.
And your tournament was great. I mean, it was $85. I think you paid around $800 for first. You paid 1 in 6. I think 1 in 6 is a fair payout, and
Yeah. So like I said, I'm gonna get back to it, man, because I do, even though I want to bowl but I'm here for the bowlers, man. So I really just want us to really get back on that scene, dude, and really start pushing and getting it back out there.
Yeah.
All right.
For us
So
to bowl something harder than the PBA is bowling on every week.
right. So with you said you went to Florida. Boo. Anyway,
Yeah.
did Florida have a bowling team?
They did. I worked while I was in school, and I met the coach. It just wasn't really my cup of tea, and I enjoy bowling on weekends and just bowling tournaments. And the Florida scene was unreal. I mean, it wasn't probably East Coast New York action, but pot games were every weekend down in Tampa and Orlando. Tournaments every weekend in Tampa, Orlando. I drive to Miami for a 6-gamer, and that was a 5-hour drive. It was the bowling scene there was fun, and I miss the action. That's the other thing here in LA. We just don't have any action book games. There's no pot games. You find one, it's all $5-10. I mean, we were bowling, for some decent money back there, and people in the back were actually bowling for money.
Oh, wow.
And you'd be giving them 100 pins a game and still taking money off them.
So you've been on the East Coast and the West Coast. How much different is the East Coast and the West Coast? Or why is it so much different in the bowling?
I just think, it was 20 years ago. So, but back then it was just seemed more like, it was more a blue collar towns in Gainesville. And with it being a more blue collar town, we had 3 bowling alleys and a 80,000 person city where 50,000 were students, and it was full every night. And I just think, people were into it. They bowl more multiple leagues, and they would bowl more weekends as well.
Right.
I think money was probably a lot cheaper to live. So with it being cheaper to live, it was a lot easier to go, hey, I'll go bowl this tournament here and bowl that here. I mean, SoCal, it's not cheap. It's not, you don't want to just give away your money here.
But it's like, even right now, though, the East Coast is still way better than the West Coast.
Yeah. It's, I just, maybe they're just born with it more. I know, they like to gamble more. They're more gamblers.
I think, honestly, what I think it is, I think it's the weather. They can't sit outside like we can. So all you can do is just go inside and play and do an inside split.
Well, it's weird because in Florida, you can actually sit outside better in the winter than the summer. You can't sit outside. But, I mean, the northern ones, the cold towns, it's definitely like when I go to Boston, and I've taken my stuff and practiced up there in different bowling centers in Boston, and they don't even do summer leagues. It's pretty much once the summer comes, everyone packs their bowling stuff up till winter, and the centers are a little bit more dead.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's more a winter sport, but
okay. Hey, Will Young's asked, he said, is it hard being the second best looking guy in the bowling alley with the beard when Will was in the alley?
How old is that picture of Will? I mean, that's like 100 pounds ago.
Whoa.
It's all right. He makes fun of my size.
James Doolin. He said, get off his side.
Yeah. He's the best backup bowler I've ever seen.
Hey, which PBA star do you model your?
Oh, your thing jammed on me.
Hey, which PBA star do you model your game after?
Oh gosh, when I was a kid,
you hear me now?
Yeah, RJ. When I was a kid, I always loved to watch like John Gant bowl, Steve Cook, Parker Bone, Jason Couch. I like those guys. Never really modeled my game. It's kind of just I learned. Just did what I felt comfortable doing with. But I just I always loved watching a lefty bowl. My favorite lefty all time though is Scott Devers. He had the weirdest style ever, but I loved his ball roll, just straight through the back of it, and always could trip with 6-pin.
Them damn lefties, I'm telling you. But I can't say nothing because I done seen Marv, trip some stuff before too. But I'm not gonna say that out loud again.
Yeah, he can trip a high hit pretty good.
Hey, I'm just saying, Brooklyn and all, but hey, that's my guy. You missed that one. Somebody just asked, what other sport did he play? He said he played. You can tell him. Go ahead and tell him again.
I played water polo and swimming, and then as a kid, soccer, baseball, all the fun stuff.
Okay, here we go. Another question.
The other sports, so I wasn't really good.
Question from your buddy. Which ball would you suggest for a bowler like Gail, and why?
Well, I first would want to know what she's missing in ball reaction type. She has almost everything, so I'd have to see what she thinks she's missing. If she's maybe missing something that's a little earlier rolling, maybe one of these Hammer Redemption Solids I have out here on the table would be pretty good for her. But then if she's looking for something that's a little more skid flip ball reaction, then maybe like a melee jab ball. It all depends on what you're missing. Bowling arsenals are so vast now. You can't get away with just having one or two bowling balls.
No, not right now. You can't. That's for sure.
Yeah, and then we bring layouts into play, and that's a whole another question.
But like I said, the lefties, they don't need a whole lot anyway. Just move one or two boards, and you can stay there for the rest of the game. It's okay.
Well, maybe you don't have to move any, but you definitely have to make ball changes. We don't have options, though. We try to move right. You guys have burned up all our oil. All we can do is go left. We got to do the same thing you do. Go left. Go left.
Hey, what are some of your biggest your biggest life and bowling accomplishments? Give us a couple different ones.
Gosh. Bowling accomplishment. Won, a few titles here and there. Probably my favorite title is my first year living in Gainesville. I won the Gainesville Masters for their local bowling association, which was fun because I was just moved there a few months. No one knew who I was. And everyone's like, who's this guy? And I kind of came out of nowhere. And that was it was like on just one of my fun highlights. And it just was like a few months after one of my cancer surgery. So I just started bowling again. And it meant a lot to me at the time. And life accomplishment, probably, meeting and marrying my wife. She's definitely made my life better. And, from where I was before I met her to where I am now, I'm a much better person.
All right, well, give her a shout out since you said that now.
Hi, Wolf. She's walking.
Hey, how long have you used Brunswick equipment?
I've been on staff since March of 2018, but I'm what they call a ball whore, and I drill everything. And I started, my first Brunswick ball was a black diamond in about 1981. I used to love the black rhino and the wine rhino. I was at a PBA event in 1988, and Parker Bone gave me his wine rhino at the end of a pro-am. And I remember that was like a very cool day for me. Loved all the rhino pros. And then as I've gotten older, whatever ball looked great that someone's throwing, I put holes in it and I threw it. So I was never one of those brand loyal guys. I threw everything, but I was thinking about all the balls I've drilled up in my life, and it's probably close to 300.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I just I love to drill balls and love to see a ball reaction.
Okay. Do you still have that ball Parker Bone gave you?
I do. It's actually at my uncle's house now because my house that I grew up in, my uncle moved in after my dad left.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll never get rid of that one. And I still have a Black Knight I had in there that was one of my, I think it was my third 300 ball I used to shoot 300 with. And I love the Black Knight. That was just such a cool looking ball back in the day.
Okay. Besides your health wise, have you ever had any injury that has sidelined you from being from bowling tournaments or just bowling period?
My wrist was bad. I had to redo my span and make it go short, so I didn't redo that to my wrist. But last year in August, I was bowling the TNBA Fun Day at Volium, and the approaches got me, and I did something in my knee and tweaked it. And so I didn't join a league this year. So I'm not worried about this bowling league thing when bowling comes back, because I was able to bowl pretty much from September to January. I tried to bowl here and there, but it hurt so bad. I really had to just take time off and let my knee heal. So now I got to wear a little brace on my knee and throw a little CBD oil on it every day to make sure it feels right. And I'm a heavier guy, so I definitely don't want to have to go into the surgery route with it. I just want
stay away from that. I went that route already. That is the absolute worst.
So this shutdown's been kind of nice. I'm not bowling on it, so my knee's been feeling really good, especially on my dog walk. So I'm not having that knee issue when I'm going up and down a hill, which I was struggling just to walk. For a while. I couldn't even walk upstairs without pain on my my left knee or my right knee.
Wow.
So yeah. So just started back. I was like, all right, cool. I'm started practicing in January again, started bowling again, and feeling good, and now we're all done.
Don't know if you ever bowled at Del Rio, but I'm sure you have because you're a bowler.
I did. I bowled there in 93 and 94 league years. And that was when you'd also bowl at Keystone for the Whitlock. And if you won both, you got a bonus. And I bowled both. And I was living in Ventura at the time. And that was a drive.
Oh, yeah.
Which was not because I didn't work. I was just in school at the time, local and community college. So I could be out till 2 a.m. and not care. But now, being up at 6 a.m., it would be a little bit of a drive from Thousand Oaks. But if the team is right, you never know.
I agree. There you go. What balls or layouts do you love and despise?
My favorite ball of all time was a Track Critical Mass. I always liked that and the Rhino Pro, the Purple Rhino Pro. But right now, my favorite ball is the Intel Pearl, the Intel Solid, the Sizzle. They're all just basic, low-end, skid flip, benchmark type balls. My favorite layout's pin above the ring. That's kind of pin above ring. I like this layout here. Kind of one of my basic layouts. I like to do pin above ring. My other layout I like to do is pin below bridge. Kind of try to use those two layouts the majority of my stuff.
Okay.
I like balls that see the back of the lane more than see the early part of the lane, which is something I definitely need to work on. It's one of my downfalls when I see longer patterns, and I'm expecting to get a ball reaction in the back, and the ball never comes off the spot. So I definitely need to work on seeing the lane at 20 feet instead of 40 feet.
And it's so funny you say see the lane at 20 feet instead of 40 feet. Everybody says, dude, don't worry about the front of the lane. Just read the back of the lane. And you're like totally opposite.
Nah, the front part of the lane is very important. They wouldn't put it there if it wasn't. Even though it's hard to see, especially as tall as I am, it's hard for me to see that part of the lane, but I got to work on getting better at seeing the ball a little bit sooner, especially on the more sport, the heavier volume, more longer sport patterns.
Have you ever, just a thought as you were talking how big you are, looking, I know he's not a lefty, but Wes Malott, have you ever tried to reach out to him and just try to get some advice from a taller bowler?
No, I haven't actually. I've seen him. I've watched him bowl. Been in a couple of PBA places where he's been. It's funny, if you looked at us, you'd think we were related. We actually look a lot alike. He looks at the dots, and I have no idea how he looks down that low. But
right,
the front dots, he looks at the foul line dots, and that's pretty impressive to be able to be that tall and look down.
Yeah, because when you see his head is like straight down.
Yeah,
that is true.
Yeah.
Another question. Wait, would you consider coaching Big Wheel so he doesn't quit the game?
I will. As soon as we get back, I'll whip him into shape. The boy can bowl. He just it's too negative.
There you go. Tell him again.
You can bowl, Will. You're just too negative.
Yeah. Seeing how you're on staff with Brunswick, do you think they should get rid of a couple of brands because 7 is too many?
Every brand is going to be its own identity. It's going to be interesting. And we only got 2 balls in the Hammer brand, the Columbia brand, the Ebonite brand, and the Track brand. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with it. Right now, it's just too early to tell. It's hard. 7 balls that's a lot of stuff to keep knowledge of, and I like to keep knowledge of not just Brunswick stuff, but all the Storm, Roto, and 900 Global stuff as well. So there is definitely a lot of stuff. But if you look at right now, in the midline price range, there's no balls anymore because Hammer, all the ABI brands had to discontinue them all. So let's see next year once we get some ball releases to see if there's too much overlapping, because that's going to be the biggest thing is if balls overlap, it's going to be really hard for me to tell someone, hey, you might like this, because there might be too many balls that do the same thing and they might like one more than the other.
Right. Okay.
So then people are going to be like, oh, they're what brand loyal they go to, and
Here's a question from Gail. Since you like Andre's gamers that he has, what is your favorite handicap tournament and why?
Right now I got 2 of them I really enjoy bowling. One is the Anchor Girl Trio because I bowled with Gail. First time I bowled with it and won, and that was a lot of fun. And then the last tournament they had, I finished second to her team by 4 pins because they had to win back-to-back. But that's a fun tournament. There's a lot of action. They run forward brackets. They run reverse brackets. And it's one of those tournaments that's not really expensive to bowl. But, as Stacy was saying the other day, there's good value in it. $60 a bowl, and if you win, you're winning $500 a person. So it's pretty cool. So I like that, and I like the team aspect. It's fun to bowl with a group of people, especially if you like them and you get along with them really well. And then I like the Marcus tournaments because it's match play, and that's my favorite part about bowling is one game, one-on-one. Score doesn't matter as long as you beat the person. You shoot 140 and win, awesome. If you shoot 220 and lose, that sucks.
Yeah. So can you get me in that tournament you're talking about? How can I get in that?
The Beast Eliminator? Check out Marcus Battiest on Facebook. He runs every month. He runs a tournament. Brunswick's one of the sponsors. If you win the tournament and you beat the Beast, it's a special pot. You can win a Brunswick ball. Plus, you get a shirt if you win. So it's kind of a cool tournament for newbies. People are experienced, and it's a handicap. Handicap's not too bad. It's 90% of 215. So you're not like giving away a lot of pins to the 150, 160 bowlers. But it's a good crowd. He gets like 80 guys a bowler. It's at La Habra, so it's not too far from you.
No, not at all.
Yeah, and he does a great job, and he's got all these little cool side games. He does like this strike 8 pot where if you get 8 strikes in 3 games and you get those numbers called like bingo style, you win some money. If there's 2 people that tie for it, you roll it off and bowl for it, and it kind of makes it fun. And again, the match play is the fun part, and he takes the top 32 and it becomes like a big NC2A bracket, and you bowl till you win, and it's I've shot 201 a few times, and I've shot 240 and lost. It's you never know what you're going to get game to game.
It's a crapshoot, huh?
Crapshoot. It's fun, and it's a fun way to.
I'm gonna have to come and check that one out then.
Sure. It's definitely a good time.
Hey, here you go, Zarcoff. This is Greg Runyon. For a guy like me who is so overpowering, what is your advice for a ball on Thursday night in Camarillo?
Oh gosh, well, I heard this year they're not using the same patterns that we used last year. I think it's Great Wall of China. So for you, just a nice midline benchmark ball. You kind of got on the slower speed. So something like a Ebonite Omni, a Radical the closer. He likes Ebonite products. Maybe even a Columbia 300 Outlook. Something. Something midline, something not too strong in the back, something that'll read the mid lane and roll more for you, Greg.
Hey, there you go, Greg. He just gave you your answer. Hey, who is your ideal foursome to cross with in a tournament?
Well, Charles is one of them. People make me laugh. Like if I'm laughing, I'm bowling good better. Especially if I'm having a bad day and someone can do something that makes me laugh. And Charles is one of those guys that once he strikes once or twice, he's throwing a 20 bagger. The guy can strike like crazy. I love crossing with Charles. He's fun. I love crossing with my guy Marvin. Marvin's always telling me what to do. I love when he tells me don't throw that ball because he knows all. He's the smartest guy I know.
Hey, I give it to him. Marv knows a lot of information.
Yeah,
sure.
So, definitely. If I'm struggling, he's definitely someone who can put me in the right spot. And and definitely don't want to cross me with throwing urethane because I hate urethane and I don't like people who throw urethane.
Yes, a lefty that said they hate urethane. You are my favorite lefty now.
If I've seen you throw urethane, I'll tell him off because I hate it. And any lefty that throws urethane is not a smart person. They're not. There's no need for it. We're not bowling. Maybe you're bowling on a pattern, but on a house shot, you want to strike. Urethanes don't strike.
Oh, my God. Guys, I don't know what just happened. This show just turned into the best show ever with a lefty saying that. Oh, my gosh. Dude, I don't even want this show to end no more. You are the man. Oh, yes. Oh, dude. But hey, oh, man, I can't even stop laughing because that's awesome. Hey, walking into a tournament, what is your mindset?
Winning, bowling good.
Winning the tournament or trying to bowl? Are you an action bowler or are you just a bowler that wants to win the tournament?
No, I want to win. I want to win. I want to make money. I don't want to lose money. So my mindset is like I'm gonna win, and let's make shots to win. I mean, not every day is my day. I feel like you're like a baseball pitcher. Like some days I just don't have good stuff, and some days there's just not my day. But I don't go in the mindset that it's going to be. I'm always trying. I don't give up. But at the same time, my mindset's to win and leave there, with cash.
Okay. Do you have a routine before every tournament?
I'm superstitious. I like to wear the same. Like if I bowled well in a bowling center and I wore that shirt, I'll wear that same shirt again. If I stopped and ate at that place, I'll stop and eat that same place again. I'm pretty superstitious. When I lived in Florida, we used to have this match game Friday night tournament, and it was in Tampa, so it was about a 2-hour drive for me. Right. I would be there every Friday night, and I got on a roll, and I won it a few weeks in a row. And every week I would stop at an Arby's off an exit on I-75, get the same exact meal, listen to the same exact music, and go in there. And if I can't listen to reggae, because a few times I listen to reggae, I bowl bad. To me, reggae is off the list. I'll never listen to reggae. And I have certain music I have to listen to get me in the right mindset. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, and I'm very superstitious, and and then I definitely have a pre-shot routine before I bowl. I kind of read Mark Baker's book a few years ago about pre-shot routines to get yourself in the right mindset every shot. So I go up there with the same mindset on every shot I'm doing.
Hey, what can you get? What kind of advice can you give to somebody that can go front 9, front 10 quite often, but can't finish and seal the deal?
I guess relax. I mean, we all get nervous. It wouldn't be fun if we didn't get nervous. That's the whole part of shooting 300. Is the thrill of actually doing it. So just kind of don't leave your pre-shot routine. I definitely have failed on front 9, front 10 a lot in my life. And a lot of times it's like, oh, did I wipe the ball off that frame? Did I actually do what I was supposed to do before every shot? And to me, it's like, what's the difference between 9 in a row and 2 in a row? Nothing. You still have to go up there and make the shot. Whether it's easy or hard, you still have to pry it off your hand correctly.
Okay. Hey, who do you consider to be the tough challenge to beat on the left side, and why?
Like here locally?
Yep.
Gosh, who we got locally? In the state of California, I think there's a lot of lefties, but they're more. I think one of the better lefties are more up north. Northern California, like Carly up in Bakersfield. I mean, he's unreal. Sal Bruno up in Antioch. I mean, he throws it really good. But here in SoCal, we really don't have that many lefties. If you go to tournaments, there's not a lot of us. Lyle can bowl, he can strike, but he's down in San Diego. He doesn't come this way as much,
right?
And Lyle's another guy I love crossing with because that guy can make me laugh. Yeah,
right. He said
Mark would be the best lefty in Southern California.
So you guys said, okay, let's put it this way. If I named, I'm gonna give you, Vern, Lau, Charles, who else is another lefty?
Mark French. Mark French is the best lefty in Southern California.
He
just kind of quit bowling for a while. He's starting to back bowl again. That guy was PBA talent. He just didn't have the brain to go out on PBA or didn't have the desire. But I mean, he's someone I watch now, and I'm like, just my mouth will drop.
Have you ever bowled with Mark Dyer?
Mark Dyer, yeah, he doesn't bowl much anymore, does he?
No, I haven't seen him. You're right.
Yeah, we used to bowl a lot when we would see him over in Riverside area.
Yeah. Before I knew that guy, I used to hear his name all the time, and I'm like, who is Mark Dyer? And I'm like, all I hear was Mark Dyer, and I'm like, who is this guy?
Yeah. I haven't seen him in years. The reason why the PCB is no longer around is because the left side killed it, but they would come back now. We just don't have the lefties that could do it anymore. We just don't have the numbers.
Yeah, because we're trying to get you guys out of here.
Yeah, you guys have done a great job. We just we don't like you guys. Yeah, I think the patterns has killed the left side here in California, especially in SoCal. We just like there's a lot of terms we go to, and we're not bowling for winning. We're just bowling for cashing, and that.
Hey, I agree with that 100%. Even though I'm not a lefty, and me running a couple of tournaments, if you guys are coming in a tournament and you're bowling on a pattern, there's not enough lefties to break that side down. So you guys do have the disadvantage. I give it to you. But when you guys have fresh china,
Oh yeah,
You got
you're not going to catch up because your guys
the
going
righties start at fifth arrow.
The righties will start at fifth arrow and burn up the fronts.
Stop warming up in the middle of the lane.
There you go, Marv. Tell them again, Marv.
Stop warming up in the middle of the damn lane.
Like Marv says, don't blow up the middle.
Use the fucking first and second arrow.
Boom. That's my boy. Hey, if y'all don't know, that's my boy MJH over there preaching to that lefty over there. Damn.
Yeah, he's teaching me a thing or two.
Man, I love you guys. Hey, but seriously, though, like I'm really about to get back to throwing tournaments. And I don't know how often Marv comes down, but Marv, when I do, I would love for you to come down and bowl a tournament.
Yeah, he'll be here. I'll drag him along. Don't worry.
Oh, there you go. See, but look, yo, hold on. We got another question for you. Oh, look, there go the doggy. Oh, well, hey, being a lefty, name another lefty you would like to end up head to head, and why?
Bowling against? Yeah, I love bowling against Mark because he does some great stuff with the ball, and if I beat him, I feel like I accomplished something.
Who is Mark French? I don't know if I know Mark French.
You should. He won one of Andre's tournaments last year that he was bowling, if you were there. He bowled over at Simi in Maryland's tournament a month ago. Kind of a tall, skinny guy. Maybe he's about 30, 35 now.
If he's a lefty, I pay no attention to him.
He's one of those lefties though that he ain't going up the gutter. He's going to be in the middle of the lane and circling the lane. And he's a lefty in a righty body. He's kind of. Have you ever seen Jason Couch bowl? He's pretty close to that.
Okay, well maybe me and Mark, we might get along then because you guys, man.
Yeah, it's but he's fun to bowl. He's
and fun. Look, I'm over here like getting in trouble now. And Will Jackson, what? How do you not know Mark French? Bad.
You know him. If you watched him, you'd be like, oh, you just probably haven't met him. Next time,
trust and believe. After this show, I'm going to pull his Facebook up and I'm going to see if I know this guy. I'm sure I'm friends with him.
Yeah, if you go onto Harley's Cameo Bowl Facebook site, you'll see him shooting 300 100 times in the last couple of weeks or months before we had our little shutdown here. Because he's over there every couple of days.
Mark said, "Let's talk." I promise, I'm not a typical lefty. Hey, Z, man, it's been fun, dude. I appreciate you coming on, sharing your knowledge, dude.
I appreciate it. It's a good time. I love watching your show. I try to catch it live, and if I don't, I try to watch it the next day on the replay, and it's good stuff.
Hey, I appreciate it. I really do, man. I'm trying to get this thing to grow some feet and keep it walking. Hey, like I said, we do have to hook up, though, because I really want to sit down with you and so we can get some ideas for running a tournament.
Yeah.
So I can get it going, either it's here or somewhere in the middle between Thousand Oaks and Southern Cal, but whatever it is, I want to try to get something going for us as far as scratch bowlers.
Yeah, I don't have a bowling center in my town, so no matter what, I'm driving, so I don't mind. The lanes will take it and we'll go from there.
I'll make sure you guys strike a lot, but just not enough to beat the righties.
Sounds good. Martin with me, and he can win. That's fine by me.
No, hey, serious, man. It's been an honor to have you on. You, my guy. Like I said, real down to earth dude, man. Marv, good talking to you. Good hearing you.
All right,
and hey, dude. Z.
One last thing.
I'm listening.
Appreciates your bread pudding. So if you run a tournament and she comes, there's got to be some bread pudding back out there too.
Whoa. Who had that? Who ate that?
You made that back in
the banana pudding, but who wants more?
My wife.
Damn it.
Yeah. That was good stuff. Believe me, I was bowling back that day, and that was the highlight of the day for me.
Hey Z, I hate to say it, dude, but that is like poison to me, dude, because once I start eating it, I can't stop. And that's why I got this little belly down here. It's not really big. It's just right there that I'm trying to get rid of. But when I do fix that banana pudding, I will make sure I save you some. As a matter of fact, the next time I get some, I'm going to call you and say, Z, let's meet up. I'm halfway, and I'll bring you some.
Sounds great.
No, I'm dead serious.
Oh, yeah. That sounds great. I can't wait. I'm a big banana pudding fan.
All right, man. So, like I said, I'll make sure we get some done. And hey, dude, hey, stay healthy. I'm glad to hear that you're in the mission. And dude, my prayers and everything. Tell the wife, everybody, be safe out there, man. Just listen to what's going on.
Yep. Yeah. Everybody be safe, and we'll talk soon. I can't wait to see you again.
All right, Big Z.
All right.
Later, brother. Man, guys, that was my boy Zarcoff, man. Hey, real down to earth dude. Y'all heard me here. Like I said, eventually I'm about to start running tournaments again whenever we open up for my scratch bowlers. Hey, guys, hit the share button. Let's get this thing going. Tomorrow, I have my boy Travis Gilbreth. And then after that, he's part of 900 Global. After that, I have my boy Ronald Sims Jr. coming to the Saturday, Celebrity Saturday. I got my boy Anthony Lavery Spar coming on. So you guys share. Please, let's make this happen. Let's keep this thing going. This isn't just a COVID-19 thing. I'm going to keep it going after we come back. So, hey, you guys listen to what's going on the news. Be safe and take care of yourself, man. Bowtie out. Peace. Much love.